Hey, there we go. So you should be seeing this, and hopefully you're hearing the sound of my voice and everything is going well. So let me know as soon as you start getting the stream, let me know that you can hear me, that the picture's good. I've been working a lot on getting these streams better, getting the quality better, and hey, there we go. Thanks guys for letting me know. Let's see who else here. We got Stefan with the first super chat. I really appreciate that. And followed up by KD with his super chat. Thanks, guys. I appreciate that. And thanks for joining me here today. This was kind of impromptu. I needed to do this build, and I would rather hang out with you guys and do it with you than to sit here and do it by myself. Because, I mean, this is all about community, and that's why I do these videos to begin with. So sound video is great, awesome. Again, I've been working a lot on getting these right. Hopefully the stream goes well, but I'm working with a whole new setup here, and I can't promise that there won't be any hiccups. So let's hope that it goes well. Sounds a bit slow, a bit low. Okay, let me turn up sound a bit. I was wondering about that, but I should be able to turn it up. Let's see. Can I turn up? No, I can do the balance. Looks like I'm all the way up. Let me see, do I have my boost turned on? Yes, I do. All right, so you can't hear you. Anyone else having? It's just too low. Okay. So again, let's get this out of the way first. Again, this is all new setup for me, different configuration. Hopefully that's why the video is a lot better than I usually have. Let's see, master volume speakers, master volume microphone, device properties. Ah, here we go. Let's see if this helps. Let me look at my levels. I'm about to turn it up. Is this working? How about that? There we go. Now I'm peeking into the yellows a little bit. Let's see. How about that? Is that better? Audio and video is okay. Let's see. Great. What else we got? I'm going to get this out of the way first because I don't want to have to deal with it later. So hopefully you guys understand. Spot on. Excellent. So, again, the whole point of this was impromptu. You know, I usually plan these ahead of time. But this was, I've got to build it, so let's build it with everybody. What's going on the channel? Well, I'm working on a lot of resin printing at the moment, and that is not as fun to watch as building these physical moving printers. So I thought this would be fun to get back to. If you're wondering, I'm working on the Creality LD002, which I'm having some problems with, I'll be honest, and I will cover all the problems I'm having with it in the video. I can't tell if it's with my resin printer or with the Creality printer in general. So I still have some things to figure out there. Now the sound doesn't work at all. Anyone else, or is it just John? Let me get a consensus. You didn't miss anything yet, Wallaby, if you're hearing me. Anyone else? Problems? You're still hearing me? I can hear you. There is sound. Okay. So if you're not getting sound, I apologize. I'll need more than one or two people to tell me the sound is out in order for me to jump off the sound there. So, all right. So we got 40 people in the chat. Thanks for joining me. 43. Apparently, a lot of people are sitting around on this Sunday. A lot of people still quarantined with nothing to do. If you've got your Ender 5 Plus and it's still in a box, please grab it. We're going to be building it together. Let's see. I would love to pronounce your name, but let's go M. Poffenbarger. Let's hope I got that right. Thank you for the super chat. Thanks for the $5 there. I really appreciate it. Let's see. What do I've got? Hopefully you are sitting. You have your favorite beverage available. I know I'll need mine because I talk a lot when I do a live stream. So let's get this out of the way. So this Ender 5 Plus, this was not provided by Creality. This was bought directly from Creality 3D, was it Creality 3D Official, I think is their official website. It's in the description if you want to order directly from them. The link is greatly appreciated. But this was bought by me. This was not bought by Creality. They did not send this. I went to their website when they finally had some in stock and I bought one myself. So this is not a sponsored video in any way. Let's see. Yeah, I mean, Pink Mouse, if you want to join in, absolutely. This is going to take me a minute. I'm about to cut the box open. As you see, the tape is still on here. I haven't even opened it. So you've got a minute to get going. As we're going, I'm going to do my best to keep up with the chat. I want to talk to you as much as possible, but I also want to get through this build as quickly as possible. If I can get this built, including all the chatting we're doing, within an hour and a half, I'll be really happy. So I would like this to go no later than, what's that, 4 o'clock Eastern Standard Time, Eastern Daylight Time here in the U.S. So I'm going to move at a decent pace. I've built one before, obviously, if you've seen any of my Ender 5 Plus videos. But I'm also going to be following the instructions so that you can follow along with me. This video will be available later if you want to re-watch, if you miss anything. So I'm just going to start cutting this open. So if you've picked up an Ender 5 recently, I guess we're both going to find out, do we get new power supplies? Everything I'm hearing from the community, from people that have been contacting me, have said that they have been getting the Meanwell power supplies in there, the Meanwell 500s. So I hope I do too, because my other one's got the 600, as you all know. So this will be new for me. Let me see. I'm still working on this new setup. Like I said, I'm improving the quality of the stream, but that means that a lot of stuff is new and under test here. So if I'm fiddling with the computer more than usual, that's why. Because I'm trying to watch what's going on, make sure I stay in frame, everything. Let's see. Oh, John, appreciate that. Let's see, I'm going to read your comment here. As a teacher, need 3D printer that makes parts, not as a hobby or experiment and modify. Is there a best choice to working on 3D printer, to a working 3D printer without the needs for modifications? John, you want to tell me what size you're looking for? Are you looking for something the size of an Ender 5 Plus? Or are you looking for the size of like a standard printer that's like 220 by 220 millimeters? Let me know. That will help me a little bit answer your question. Wallaby, I hear yours isn't being delivered till Wednesday. This, like I said, this stream will be available. You can jump around, or you can just follow my original preview video. If you've been following me on social media, you'll see that I just passed 100,000 on that video, 100,000 views, which is a big milestone for me. It's my first 100,000 view video, so I'm really proud of that. I'm glad people have gotten so much use out of that video. Let's see, 5 Plus would be great, but smaller will also work. So, as I said in my full review of this printer, I don't recommend it necessarily for first-time printers. It's a little bit more to get tuned. The interface, while it's touchscreen, isn't the most intuitive thing to get set up for new first-time printers. That being said, I know a lot of people have used it as their first printer because they wanted something big, and they've had various levels of success. If I was recommending a great printer that I think works well out of the box, and of course this is one that does this, that if you don't need an enclosure on it. I like the Ender 5 Pro. The Ender 5 Pro comes pre-upgraded with all of the first upgrades that I put in my videos for the Ender 5. So the Ender 5 Pro is a great printer. It doesn't need a lot of hand holding, a lot of upgrading. So that's my recommendation, and it won't break the bank. If you want something bigger that's going to have an enclosure and stuff, I might wait on the Ender 6. I obviously haven't used the Ender 6 myself, so it's difficult for me to recommend it directly, but the Ender 6 is looking very promising for an enclosed printer. See, Peter had his with a Meanwell. Let's see, hey, you doing, Drone Pilot? Drone Pilot shows up in a lot of my streams. I appreciate you showing up today. Ender 3 or CR10? I have my first Ender 3 sitting over here in a box. Creality just sent me one for fun because they know the Ender 3's, you know, I don't know what the shelf life is going to be on an Ender 3 at this point. Obviously, if you've got one, it's going to work forever probably. Let's see, if I was going to buy one myself, I would buy a CR10. Probably the CR10, what is it, S4 Pro or something like that. I like those over just an Ender 3, if you've got the budget for it. Let's see, hopefully that answers your question. And again, thanks everyone for contributing to the Super Chats so quickly in this stream. That's really nice of you. Not expected, but appreciated. We've got about 56 people in the chat right now watching live. I appreciate it. So let me go ahead and do something real quick because I know other people were grabbing their printers to get ready to go here. So let me go ahead and do this. I want to share this stream on the socials real fast because, again, I did this very last minute. So I don't know who knows about it, who doesn't. Right now, only people following probably know about it. So if you're on social media and you want to help this chat and this community grow, please share this stream. Let people know that it's going on right now. That would be a big help for me. Save me a little bit of legwork on the tweets. Again, if any of you guys notice anything going haywire with the stream, if video cuts out or anything, please let me know. I will get this set up working where even I'm happy with the quality and everything. If you could go back, I would say if I could go back, I would have gone with an Ender 5 Plus over an Ender 5. Okay. Well, again, I think that's with your experience levels. So everyone, please chime in. Let them know what your opinions are on your favorite printers here. Please do. Let's see, what do I got? I'll try to keep talking through this so you know I'm not dead. And I am back to it. All right, we got 59 people in the chat, and I'm going to start moving forward here. We got the wide shot. Obviously, I've got a close-up camera ready here. Prusa, I have a lot of respect for Prusa. I think what they've done in the community, their customer service, from what I hear, is second to none. You're paying for a lot of that support. So it depends on what your needs are, but I don't know too many people with Prusas that are unhappy with them. So let's get this off. So foam, I'm going to be just throwing this to the wind and seeing what we've got. Again, as you saw, I just cut this box open. What do I have? I get to figure out how this thing's packaged. If you recall, it's been a long time since I've built one of these. That last one I built, I don't know, must have been like 8 months ago, it feels like. So here is the print bed. Now, one thing that's going to be interesting to me is some of the stuff will be different from mine. Mine was a beta unit when I received it. It was pretty much final beta, but some of this stuff is going to be new to me. Let's see. Like the build plate, I notice I have a nice Ender logo down here now, which I didn't have before. Let's go ahead and unwrap this. At some point, I know I'm going to have to put the box on the floor because I'm going to run out of room. All right, so that comes off. I have my book, which I am going to use. Like I said, I'm pretty strict in following directions when I build these things. I'm weird compared to a lot of other guys. I like following the directions because then it's built right. I do that when I build IKEA furniture too. I actually follow the book, and every time I end up with a shelf if I was planning on building a shelf, which is what I usually buy from IKEA. I'm just moving this around a little bit. Again, looks good. The thermal barrier on the bottom is in place. Like I said, I've got a nice Ender logo here on the front. My wiring looks good. They do have the yellow orange springs on this printer, which most people prefer over the cheaper ones. Let's see. Apparently Drone Pilot's been using 5160s. I have some 5160s that I use on a printer I've been working on. That's going to make it back onto the channel again. I haven't played with them a lot though. Sub Intro wants to know, is it common for the middle of the bed to seem like it dips in the middle? Well, I can say a lot of people have them that dip. A lot of them seem to have them that come up a little bit in the middle. It seems to be common. It shouldn't be very common on glass, but that's why you have the BL Touch. The BL Touch should be compensating for a little bit of rise or a little bit of dip. Hopefully not much though. Again, it's glass. It shouldn't have the ability to warp too much. Did they add strain relief? I did not see any. No. Well, let me see. Let me switch over. There is not proper strain relief in terms of like a piece of plastic or anything. They have put silicone over it that will help with the strain relief. If that silicone holds, and time will tell for me, but if that silicone holds, that actually will help a lot with the strain relief. I do believe in printing a strain relief on this printer. I'll have to show you later or post in the comments later which one I use, but I do like strain relief on this one, but I do like the silicone added to this one. Let's see. What's the difference between the Plus and the Pro? The Plus is this one. It's the large bed. The Pro is like a regular Ender 5 with a few upgrades, including the silent board, a different extruder, the metal extruder that I recommend, and it comes with the upgraded Bowden tube. So, Bowden tube. Okay, Manuel, I'll do my best to give you instruction. It just depends on how fast I move here, so I need to get moving so that we get to the printing and leveling part. I have decided I am going to put out a leveling video for this printer with probably both the default firmware that it comes with, meaning the one that works with the touchscreen, as well as the upgraded firmware if you upgrade the main board to Marlin and a proper Marlin screen, because I know a lot of people have trouble leveling this printer, and I'd like to walk you through how to do that. So if I don't cover it thoroughly here, or if you would just like more instruction, I'm going to try to put out a video just on bed leveling of this printer. Let's see. Okay. Let's see, I've got a wonderful cheap white filament that this printer usually comes with. I've got my spool holder. Now, I can't promise you exactly when that bed leveling video will come out. I'm going to try to actually have it out really soon now that I've got this new one that has all default, all standard parts on it. So, but keep a lookout for it. I'm going to have it as probably a bonus video on the channel, just depending on how everything goes. Oops. All right. We have our 4 extrusions. Again, at some point I'm going to have to move things around here. Let's see. How are we doing on numbers? Have you liked the video yet? While I'm unloading this box, it's perfect time for you to like this video. That lets other people know that you're watching it, and it lets YouTube know that they should share it more. So if you haven't liked the video yet, just take a minute and do that for me. It would be very helpful. So Lucas is liking the SKR Mini better. I'm not surprised. So I'm going to grab the box of parts out of here. What I got? In a minute, I'm going to have to move things around because I'm going to be out of room. So here is the gantry. Make sure I'm looking at the right thing. So this is the entire upper gantry. Everything looks good. They're still shipping with this poor plastic extruder. That's really unfortunate. I wish they'd stop doing that. But it's what it ships with. But everything else looks good. Wiring, harness looks good. I'm going to set this on the floor because it's not needed yet, if I don't take other things with me. No matter how much space I try to make myself, I always seem to run out. What else I've got? I got one of my Z's. Man, did they gunk on that grease. Holy crap. I guess they're trying to get rid of the squeak on these printers, and their solution is grease. Hopefully you can see that all right. Yes, lots of grease on that one. That will have to come off. If you haven't seen my video where I replace with the palm bearings, I will probably, or the palm nut, I will probably replace these with the palm nut as well. Let's see. I got. And same amount of grease on that one. Ton of grease. Like I said, I think they're doing that to get rid of the squeak that is very well known on these. Tons of squeak. So hopefully that gets rid of that. All right. Okay, so I'm down to the base here. I don't think there's anything else in this box, if I remember correctly. So we have the base. All right, let me close this up. If I miss something, I will have to find it on the floor. Is this a new version of the 5 Plus? Maybe, kind of. So as I said at the beginning, if you just joined us, this is a Ender 5 Plus. Perfect. All right. So if you missed the beginning of the stream, this is an Ender 5 Plus I purchased myself directly off of the Creality website because I do like purchasing direct, because keep in mind, I've heard horror stories where they will buy it, someone will buy a new Creality printer, they will buy it from a third party, then Creality expects the third party to be the first line of support on the printer, which means that Creality will not typically get involved until you've already exhausted that first line of support. So if you want direct support from Creality day one, you need to buy directly from their website. So that's my recommendation right here. I buy directly from their website. As I said, this was not provided by Creality. This was me buying this myself because I wanted another one. So keep that in mind. Let's see what we got. Trying to keep up. So Peter's was dry with no grease, which means it probably squeaks like crazy. When in doubt, more lube. Yeah, I'm apparently that's it. Sound is very faint. I'm not seeing faint sound on mine, so if anyone else is having a hard time hearing, please let me know. If not, Tony, turn it up. Check the little bar on the bottom of the YouTube video. Crank it up a little bit. Yeah, as Luke's saying, you might save a little bit of money by not buying direct from Creality, but you don't know exactly what you're getting. So keep that in mind. So this is my second Ender 5 Plus. The first one was provided by Creality. I contacted them early as a YouTuber and said, hey, I did a lot of work on your Ender 5 for people. Will you hook me up with an Ender 5 Plus? And they did. And that first Ender 5 Plus was a beta unit. So if you're asking, is this one newer? Yes, because this one is a production one. I've had it for probably sitting in the garage for about a month and a half or so, maybe 2 months. Sitting in the garage waiting for me to do this. So this is straight as just anyone else would buy an Ender 5 Plus. What filament types can the Ender 5 Plus support? Generally PLA and PETG will work, as long as it's not like high temp PETG. Do I see any differences in this one? As I was saying, the only differences I've seen so far, mine did not originally have this nice Ender Dragon on the bottom here. There seems to be silicone now as possibly strain relief, possibly just not get electrocuted relief on the bed. I'm hoping it'll provide some strain relief. I'll find out. I'll maybe wait a little bit to actually attach any extra strain relief and see this enough. See, the silicone's great because silicone is #1 heat resistant. Silicone is also great because it moves without tearing or ripping or anything. Is the PSU covered by warranty? Yes. The power supply should be covered under warranty, whether it's the Chang Lang or the Meanwell. I've heard of plenty of people getting replacements. What I have not heard is that if you try to get your Chang Lang replaced with the Meanwell, that typically doesn't work. I think that's because they probably just take those Chang Langs, go back to Chang Lang and goes, hey, give us a new one. So it probably has to do with how they're swapping them out. So I don't think you're getting a replacement Meanwell for your Chang Lang unless you are doing that yourself. Okay, now one thing I still didn't get set up before the stream was how I'm going to lay everything out here, because this board's not big enough for this and my laptop. So I wish I could have gotten that done. So you may see me rearranging stuff here real quick. So interestingly enough, all signs are pointing to I still may have gotten a Chang Lang power supply, and I don't know how that works out, but let's find out. Let's see here. I'm going to figure this out because I need the working space. Okay. If you see my laptop fall, well, that was a great stream, wasn't it? Let's see. Okay. Ruined Meanwell power supply. That one's a new one. Okay, I've given myself just enough room here to work. So first thing I want to do is find out what I did with my toolkit, which I've got here. So this is my Cobalt toolkit. I showed this off on a couple of other videos because I really do like it. Let's see here. I'm going to take the bottom off here. I do think I ended up with the Chang Lang, and I'll tell you how I know the difference. Is most of the Meanwells do not have the voltage selector here for your region. Most of those are auto selects. So let's find out. I'm going to switch over here so you see what I'm doing. You don't need to watch me. There we go. Let me move this over a little bit. There you go. I'm hoping I'm not showing too much. There, that looks good. Let's see what I have here. That's too big. I'm still getting audio is a little low. I'm afraid if I turn it up anymore, some people are going to be blasted out, because I'm actually seeing yellows here on my mixer. How about give me a, I don't know how many people can do thumbs up and thumbs down here. Sound is okay. Well, turn it up, I guess, a little bit. I really don't want to blast people out. Sounds perfect for Luke. Oh well. I will listen to this back and see if I can adjust it. Most of the time when I do like pre-canned videos, those are going through an editor where I can set the volume, but this is difficult for me to tell. So what did I get? This is going to be glued in. So that is, hey Chang Lang. So there we go. This is not what I was hoping, unfortunately, but I didn't select. Again, I just ordered from the factory, so I got what I got. So some people are getting Meanwell, some people are getting Chang Lang still. Unfortunately, I'm not going to be able to say, hey, everyone go get your Meanwell power supplies. So the other one, you know, I'm pointing at my other Ender 5 Plus, which is sitting nicely here on the floor. My other Ender 5 Plus has that 600 that I recommended. I think what I'll do in this one, because I'm not looking forward to, I don't know. In my garage here, it's hot still. I'm running an AC when I'm in here, but I'm still not running an AC for my printers because that seems like a waste of power. So I will probably replace this with a 500. Since I've got the 600 in there, I'll have the 500 in here, see if there's any problems. Let me see, can I get this out? Or did they hot glue it? Is it worth it? I don't want to waste your time. Oh well. This is glued in here very well, so I'm leaving it where it is. I think you can see the board is the regular Creality board, nothing different there. Creality display, nothing different there. Super nice heat sink on that MOSFET. I still have to say I haven't heard anyone of having problems with those default MOSFETs, so that's good. We'll see. I will run this power supply for a little bit for sure, because I don't have a 500 watt Meanwell just sitting around. I use a 350 Meanwell on my bench for testing. Which BL touch wires do I have? Ugh. All right, let's find. Actually, can I tell here? Well, I guess it tells on the board. Let's look. Good question. I have been showing people a hand-drawn picture I have that shows different color BL touch wires so that people know where they go. I have, so this one's good. So this is the newer BL touch because I have the brown, orange, and red. So which is different than my original one. Brown, orange, and red, so this is a newer BL touch. Any other questions before I close it up? Good. I'm going to give you a minute. Any other questions before I seal this back up? No. Okay. Closing it back up. I don't think there's much else to see. Tell you from a streaming perspective, I spent a lot of time trying to get this close-up stream not so white. Like, there's no color to it hardly at all. It's very washed out. But I gave up on it. Have you compiled the new Marlin yet for this? Of course I have. So if Pink Mouse, if you have missed my epic saga, I've actually compiled it only. I actually get what you may be asking. Have I compiled the new Marlin for this main board? No. In fact, if you'll go watch on this channel, if you check out my playlist or just the individual videos that I've done on Marlin 2.0, I do not recommend putting Marlin 2.0 on this printer. If you put it on the default one, you're probably going to slow it down. Marlin 2.0 has more in it. It has more going on. And you're not going to really be adding any features you need to this printer. So leave... I recommend putting my modified firmware on here that fixes the BL Touch offset, but I do not recommend upgrading to Marlin 2.0 on this printer. It is a 8-bit board. I think you're going to end up slowing it down. If you want 32-bit boards, I have released multiple versions of Marlin 2.0 for the Big Tree Tech boards. So if you've got the Big Tree Tech boards, you can check those out because those are ready to go. People have expressed that they are working great for them. That's what I'm working on my other printer. Yeah, I still can't believe after all this time, after me basically telling them about it and doing the work for them, that there's still not an upgrade. But you can get it for me. It's exactly the same as theirs. I use their firmware to make my firmware, so if you need that BL Touch offset, just go grab mine. Okay, so what do we have here next? Like I said, I'm going to follow the instructions because that's the kind of guy I am. Let's see. So this is going to be adding the uprights, which is what I figured. Let's see, Chris, on the other E5P, as you already have the Meanwell sitting on the back of the printer, have you thought about making a smaller enclosure for the controller and getting rid of the big one? I've thought about it, and my friend from the YouTube's David Wilson has done that. He actually, I think, just stuck a big piece of wood on the back of his printer and went with that. But have I thought about doing it? I've thought about it, but one of the reasons I haven't just moved it to a bigger enclosure or a separate enclosure or a customized enclosure is because this one adds some rigidity to the whole chassis, and I like where the screen is on it. So while I could move it, I like that this is kind of structural, so I haven't done it yet. Don't know if I will. Thanks, Pierre. I appreciate that. Glad to hear it's working for you, Tom. Yes, I know. Thanks, Singularity. I'm happy that they use my videos on their site. I'm glad that it's getting more use than just on my channel. I've had a lot of traffic because they've used it. So if they're happy with my work and want to share it, I'm more than happy to let them. Luke, you're asking about the Z-Access sync. I've heard from others it works well. I am going to do a video on it, devoted just to trying out that feature. And so if it works well, if it doesn't work well, I'll let you know. If people don't know what Luke's talking about, so with the latest Marlin firmwares, you can do a Z-Access alignment, which is where your BL Touch probe will basically go to the left, move just one stepper motor, move to the right, just move the other stepper motor, and align your Z-Access Z-rods for you. Now you have to have separate Z motors for your left and your right, but it supposedly works really well. So I would like to try it using 2 steppers on this one. Yeah, and obviously, Luke, if you want to wait on my video, then you'll get my firmware again, because I will release it like I always do. Okay, got those unpackaged. There goes the screwdriver. You need to have a 5 drivers board. I have a 5 drivers board. That's coming too. So I've got the Pro board, which has 5 stepper drivers, which will allow me dual extruders and dual Z-Access. That I can't wait to test out. And I have to admit, I'm pretty excited about that board. that's like a really geeky board because it has a lot of features. Some of them you'll use, some of them you won't use, but a lot of excellent features. So, what I got here. Hey, it did come with an American power cable. I never know. Sometimes it doesn't. It came with some injection molded clips for cable management, which my original did not come with. And it came with the USB drive. I got going on. So, if you are looking for that Pro board, I am going to be reviewing it. So, I've got a wonderful clog removal tool, just a needle. I have cable ties, and I've got snips, which I promise you I've got all over my house, and I don't have enough of still. So there we go. Never have enough or too many snips. Okay, what else? Hey, if I'm going too slow, let me know. I can speed this up. But I'm doing a lot of talking because it's a live stream and that seems more interesting than not talking. But if you're on a time crunch and you want me to hurry this up, just let me know. Screws, screws, screws. M25, I got 30s. All right, so let's see. It says these are going to be the 25s. Hey Tom, good to see you, man. It's been a little while. I guess it's been a little while since I've done a live stream, so it's been a while since I've seen you. Thanks for dropping by. Always happy to hear from Sweden. Thinking about moving to the Netherlands, somewhere Sweden, in that European area. Not going to get political here, but you know what? That area of the world's looking awfully good. Let's see. SKR Mini. You're right. Yeah, I can't do that with the SKR Mini. I'm going to need 8 of these. Northern Europe seems nice. My wife's been watching all these travel shows like she always does. And I have to admit, I've been paying attention to them too because it's very nice in Northern Europe. Good people in Northern Europe, right? Heat wave. I'm guessing a heat wave in the Netherlands is like our normal summer weather. I mean, right now it's well into the 90s in Georgia, and that's typical year over year. Thanks, Tom. Yeah, guys, if you haven't liked it yet, go find the like button. Shouldn't be that hard. No pressure, no pressure. Okay, so when you're doing these, the screw, where's the screw? Oh, there it is. Okay, so the screw goes in the top. I've made that mistake before. Let's go ahead and we're going to first attach them here. Just going to finger tighten them. Yep. I have not set my voltage switch yet. I will, just to make sure I don't forget. Give me a minute when I'm on that side of the printer. Thank you, Ben. I appreciate that. Am I doing anything with this 5 Plus? Yes, I am. So, what am I doing with this 5 Plus? I am going to do a few videos of it stock again because I haven't had a stock 5 Plus in a while. But this one's going to be different than my other one. I'm not doing the exact same mods to it. At least not initially. At least not until I've got like super configuration. I don't like how I'm holding this. So if you'll excuse me, let me move my wiring here. Again, if you guys have a nice table to work on to do this, please use better protocols than I am to align everything. So I am using my fingers at this point to align the top. You can't see. Haha. I don't know if I can adjust this or if I just need to go wide again. Let me go wide again. Okay. So what I'm doing here, I'm using my finger on the top and my finger on the back, my thumb on the back, to actually align this as I'm tightening it. And again, it's not going to get perfect, but I want to feel that it's flat, that it's flush on both sides. Yes, I do have a Core XY mod coming for it. Forgot the name of that company. You guys will have to refresh me in the chat. I do have a Core XY coming from a company that is making them for the Ender 5 Plus. They've already told me that when they're shipping that I will get one. I don't believe that they're shipping yet. So as soon as they start shipping, I should have one. What Pro board am I? What Pro board? Excuse me. What Pro board am I referring to? SKR, Big Tree Tech. Big Tree Tech also has a Pro board similar to their 1.4 Turbo or their Mini E3. They also have a Pro board that is really nice if you are wanting additional steppers, if you are needing additional inputs, outputs, expandability. If you want a faster processor, their Pro board has everything. Of course, it's a lot bigger. Again, aligning on the side and the back here with my fingers to make sure that they're flush. Yes, K3D. Thank you very much. K3D is the company that has said they will hook me up with that Core XY mod to let you guys know if it's worth doing. Because it's not a cheap mod. I think it's over $200 for that mod. And that's a lot of money on top of a, you know, already more expensive printer. Let's see. Yeah, the GTR is even more expansion. I'm not touching the GTR right now, at least until I decide to do a, you know, some sort of tool changer. Then I won't touch the GTR. So now I am setting my voltage. It did come at 230. I am setting it to 115. The voltage is ready to go. Now that I have two of these uprights on here, it will stand up by itself. So you're not going to get to see me drop my printer today. Sorry about that. Let's see, did I put that one on right? Yes, that was luck, by the way. I had a 50-50 chance on that one because I forgot to check that the screw hole is in the top. Screw hole right there in the top. Let's see. From Senegal. Hey, I think that you're probably the first person that has ever told me they're from Senegal during the live stream. So welcome. Thanks for joining me. I'm going to try to pronounce your name and I'm going to butcher it, and I apologize. I always do my best. Mamadou. Mamadou, B.A.? So, thanks for joining me. Ben's designing an enclosure. This one did not have the mean well, which I was surprised. I had so many people telling me that, hey, I just got one and it's got a mean well. I've just got one, it's got a mean well. As someone suggested, I think that may be coming from one of the third-party vendors on Amazon might be providing those mean wells, because this did not come with one. I was a little disappointed, to be honest. I was hoping not to have to upgrade that, but I am. So Paul is still saying my volume's too low. Wow. Okay. Any problems with the Exoslide? Zero. Zero problems with the Exoslide. I love the Exoslide. I'm cleaning my printer less. I'm just not worried about the XY motion at all on that printer. So I've been extremely happy with it. Hey, Freddie from South Africa. Thanks for joining me. Let's see. I've got here a Banggood came with a Meanwell. I don't know. Maybe there are just different warehouses, and different warehouses have upgraded ones or not upgraded ones, and we're just getting whatever supply we get. I mean, if mine, for example, I bought mine from the U.S. warehouse, it's very possible the U.S. warehouse just got a slow boat of Ender 5 Pluses in, and these had not been upgraded yet. So it's what I got. At this point, I can't tell you what you're going to get, unfortunately. I wish I could. I wish I could just get with Creality there and find out what they're doing, but I don't have any inside information. When I ask those kinds of questions from Creality, sometimes he'll go off and try to find the answers, but often I don't hear back. Let's see. What's the print size of the printer? 350 by 350 by 400. Okay, I'm going to turn up the volume. I've still got people complaining about the volume. If you have your volume turned up, now is the time to turn it down right before I turn up my volume a little bit. So I'm going to turn it up here. Let's try this. How's that? Oh, maybe a little bit more. All right, so now that's peaking. I refuse to do that. How's that? Let's see. Let's do that. Okay, I've turned it up some more. I'm still peaking a little bit, so I'm not happy about that. So let me know. Let me know if I've screwed up sound for anyone. So Luke is deaf. Hey, Luke, if you're actually deaf, I don't think not being able to hear me is my problem. Oh, good, good. It's fine. Okay. John says everything's great. It's perfect now. Much better. Wonderful. Thank you all for helping make the stream better. That's terrific. That's what I'm going for here. Like I said, new setup. I'm doing my best to tweak everything. Thank you very much. I'm learning ASL. That would be terrific. I would love to learn ASL, but it would be on a big list of other things. No, I don't hit the clips. Do you hit the clips? Maybe it matters where you put the clips. I usually have to put my clips on the front and the back instead of the sides, if that matters. Oh, yeah. Get tripod in here. Wonder what Brian's doing today. Brian's usually here as my moderator. So... Tom, you're a moderator now. Not that I've needed one today. Thank you all for being here and for being so nice and polite and excellent to each other. I appreciate that. Anytime I do a live stream, not to have to need to moderate, but now Tom's a moderator if we need one. Hope Tom doesn't mind. But Tom's been around a long time, so he gets the honor. Okay, so that's all 4 of those. They're all tightened in. Again, make sure, align everything. Take your time to align. There we go. Be excellent to each other. Make sure you take the time to align these things. Don't just slap it together. So like I said, I have finger aligned each of these to where everything fits well. Okay. At this point, it's not too heavy. I'll tell you what, this printer's not heavy at all with my 600 watt power supply on it. That thing is a beast. You're going to see me fiddle around here because I have not given myself enough room to work. And that's my fault. All right. There we go. I'm going to eventually buy me a bigger table. But when I started off, this is what I could afford using the funds from the channel. Oh, you don't react to Tom. I apologize, Thomas. Everyone calls me Chris, even though my proper name is Christopher, so sometimes I forget. So let's go with Thomas. Or maybe I'll just call you Viking, but then other people won't know who I'm talking about. Where's your engineering square? You know what? I just bought a new one. It's in the other room. I didn't bring it in here with me. So, I didn't bring my engineering square, but if this isn't square, then I have a manufacturing problem. What I got here? I'm going to check on, let's see, ooh, 93 viewers. Hello, everybody. 93 viewers, 91 viewers. I just lost 2 people because I mentioned how many viewers I had. I got 46 likes on this one. So if you haven't hit the like button, what you doing? Hit the like button. All right. Oh, okay, cultural difference. I like to know these things. Thank you, Thomas. Yes, we short everything in the U.S. My daughter's name is Sydney, and I call her Sid when I'm in a hurry. She doesn't mind me doing it at this point, but she doesn't like other people doing it. So I guess I get to be dad. Thanks, John. Appreciate that. Like and subscribe. Hit the bell icon. Thank you, Judd's. How do you say? No, it's Judd's Sandage. There we go. Hello, New Zealand. New Zealand, the people that really understand how to handle a pandemic. Way to go, guys. I'm super jealous of New Zealand. You guys did a good job. New Zealand, you guys can leave the house without a mask on. Okay, I need to hurry up. How much time have I killed? Oh my God, it's already 3:30. Let's do this. Okay, so next step, I'm going to pop the lid on this thing, and it's going to be the M525s, same things I was using before. And let's see, 8 pieces total, 1 in each top, 1 in each side. And I need to make sure I put this on in the right orientation. They tell me in the instructions that I want to tighten the screws on the top and then the ones on the sides. And then possibly do my belt as well. Let's see. New Zealand's cool and quite beautiful. Yeah, I know. Let's see. Hi from England. Hello, Luke from England. England, where most of my genetic heritage comes from. So, let's see. All right. So, which way would you prefer me do this? I think maybe you would prefer to see it from the standpoint that I would normally build this from. So I'm going to turn the whole thing around and make you guys the audience. So that's the front of the printer. I'm going to do this way for now. Okay, so I've got the lid, the top gantry system here. And so the back is going to be the side with the stepper motors. And the front, again, remember when you're watching a person on a stream do this, that this is not how they would do this if they were by themselves doing it. That we are working in a very different situation from building this normally. So there we go. So notice the stepper motor is on the back. I got this stepper motor on this side here. One thing I'm noticing that they did different on this one, which I don't really care for, the Bowden tube, they actually ran through this, which means that all of this has to get tied together. I don't really like that. Maybe this is what confuses people, because I'm always like, why is this such a hard wiring? But I prefer this Bowden tube to be out of here. Then you can run the Bowden tube directly from your extruder to the back, excuse me, from the hot end to the extruder here. There's no reason that this should be coming around back. I like to run my wiring over here with the gantry because this is relatively fixed, and then this can move, right? And then I run that Bowden directly to the extruder. It's a shorter run, and there's no reason that it should be, it just makes things confusing. So I'll try to do that in a minute if I get a chance. I don't know if I'll do it in this stream. Yes, it's a big printer. What I miss? Okay. Yep. Tom does it the way Thomas does it the way I do it. Yeah. All right. So let's go ahead and finish screwing all this together. Where did I put? There it is. Okay. So what did it say do? It said do the ones on the top first. So we're going to start with the ones on the top. I'm going to finger tighten those in a little bit. That will begin the squaring process. One, two, three, four. Okay. Now I'm going to go ahead and put these in from just getting everything squared up perspective. Okay. Came with just enough screws, which is fine. These aren't like little tiny screws that you're going to lose easily. I know you can't see my face. Not that I don't think anyone's really worried about it. Now, Pierre, I think that's how you pronounce it. Pierre, I don't like chains on most 3D printers unless you're also going to put some sort of sheathing on your wires, because I've had my first printer I ever built or modified or whatever you want to call it. I actually put a chain on it, and it ended up wearing those wires with that chain. So if you're going to put a chain on it, please wrap your wires in some sort of nylon covering to keep the wires from wearing away and shorting something out. Thanks, Ben. Let's see. All right, so I've got all four finger tightened in a little bit. Now I'm going to do what they suggest, and we're going to tighten the top ones first. Again, I'm going to, once you get these in, there's not a lot of play here. Like, I can't use my fingers as guides quite as much, but you can try. But these, since the screws are coming in from two sides, don't give you a lot of flexibility, which is good. I'd much rather have less options in terms of how much flexibility it has. Hello, Purr. Good to see you. From DK. You're going to have to help me with DK. I feel like I should know that one, but I don't off the top of my head. Who wants to help me with DK? Planning on quiet fan upgrades on this one. You know, I should do more stuff like that on this channel, because I know a lot of people do keep these in their living spaces still. I made the mistake from a channel perspective, but not from a personal perspective, of moving this into my garage. So I don't care as much about the noise, but silent fans, sure, I'll be happy to check on some silent fans. Denmark. Okay, I didn't want to guess. That's what I would have guessed, but there we go. Denmark. Thank you, Per, for joining us. All right, Luke, go ahead and share with the group. How much silencing have you done? How much silencing have you done to your printer? So next thing I'm going to do, I'm going to tighten all the top ones are tightened. Now I'm going to tighten the ones on the side first. I'm going to start with the back ones, because the back ones don't have any adjustment to them. So we can safely just tighten these down. Again, please don't over tighten when you're tightening these because you do not want to strip these out. Noctua fans. I've used Noctua fans. They just don't push a whole lot of air. At least that's my experience. So next up, I'm going to actually see, do I need to do any tightening of my belts, or are they good? This one's really good. I'm very impressed with them. This is a nice tight belt. This one, also a nice tight belt. I'm really impressed. They got that really where it should be. And this one is good enough. I'm not going to mess with it. Actually, it's really good. I'm happy with how they tighten these. On my first printer that I got from them, my NR 5 Plus I got from them, they were kind of loose. They're really good. I'm happy. All right, so now I'm just going to tighten the front ones. The back ones are already tightened. There we go. I don't like the feel of that. I'm going to, if you ever start putting on a screw and you don't like how it's going in, don't force it. So I don't really like it. We'll see if it feels okay once I get it tightening. There we go, it's fine. So I have to admit, I have stayed away from the Duet, and it's only due to cost. I like the Duet, I like the company, I like what they're doing, I like that it's made in the UK, but they're expensive and you have to buy their display from what I understand, and it's just a really expensive purchase for a printer that's, you know, you're going to upgrade it. Yeah, so I like these cheap boards in here. Love Duet though. If you want to spend the money on it, I fully support you. All right. Liquid refreshment had. So this is one of the reasons I love this printer. The design is great. The way that they've put the screws in, it is such a solid frame. No, I agree, Luke. I've got a 20 millimeter thick on an original ANET A8 that I've rebuilt a couple of times, and it does push enough air for that particular one. But all right, so this is, again, as I was saying, I love it. It is super solid. This one is really built well. So these wheels are good. They could be tightened up a touch using the eccentric nuts, but overall I'm actually really happy with how this one's assembled. The belts are really tight. I'm actually going to tighten up this eccentric nut just a little bit. Yeah, I mean, that was just a hair is all that one needed. Now I'll tell you how I test my eccentric nuts. How tight do you want them? So what I like to do is turn the wheel with my finger. If I'm turning the wheel with my finger and it's moving, then it's tight enough. But you only want it just tight enough. It doesn't need to be super tight. If you get it super tight, you're going to have rubbing, it's going to have some binding. So you loosen it up until it doesn't move when you turn the wheel. And you keep tightening it just a little bit until the rail will move when you turn the wheel. So like these all four work now. Notice I'm turning this wheel. I know you can't see this, I apologize. I can't get every camera angle, unfortunately. So I'm turning the wheel here, and notice it's not moving, which means it's just a little too loose. Now if I just tighten it a little bit, it's getting tighter. Now when I turn it, it moves. That's how tight I like it. And all four of them are doing that now. So again, straight out of the box, really happy with this one. It's just working like it's supposed to. This one also, all three of these wheels are turning like they're supposed to. So we're good there. All right. right, so next up, that is all for those. Now we just need to put together the rails, excuse me, the Z-axis. And these are going to use the 5s. I've got my mic hanging down here just in case I had to run off and grab something. I didn't want it inside my shirt. I don't have a wireless one yet. All right, so I've got my 30s here. These are the M5 30s. Let's see. Can I poke the belts to see / hear how tight the tension is? Let's see. I don't know if you can hear it, but yes. They give a nice pop when you pull on them. So I'm happy with that. I don't use a square. Sometimes. I don't know if people want me to actually run off and get my square now because I don't have it right here next to me. So I'm not using a square today. But everything seems to be moving well. I can re-square it up later if I feel like something's off. But hope you don't think less of me for not having my square here today. Let's see. Will the direct drive from Micro Swiss fit with the exoslide? I don't know yet. I haven't tried it. Probably not. I'm guessing the holes are not going to be in the right place. But I might make a template to screw those, to drill those holes in the right places. I might even try to work with Micro Swiss or get exoslide talking with Micro Swiss to get those holes drilled because I do think they would go very well together. But it's not too hard to drill those holes yourself if you need to. Let's see. What am I missing? I feel like I'm missing something. But anyway. All right, you guys keep talking amongst yourselves. Let me get this going. Okay. So the side rails, the only thing that really should be different is you're going to want the output of the motors here going towards the back because that's where you're going to want to wire it to. So since the output of this motor is on this side, I'm going to turn this around and it is going to be on my right. It's going to go right here. And then the other one, again, the plug for the motor should be on the back of the printer as well. Let's see. Yeah, Teaching Tech did do putting RepRap firmware on the SKRs. Haven't watched it, but I did see that it popped up on my feed. I follow Teaching Tech as well. He does great videos. All right, so these are the 30s like I mentioned. These are going to be on the inside. Don't want to touch my screw if I can help it because not necessarily that it's going to mess anything up, but it will get all over my fingers. So I'm going to do the tops of these first. And why do I do the tops? Because it keeps them from falling off. really wish I had a better view for you, but like I said, it's hard to get every view of a printer this big. See, I did touch something like maybe the rails or something, because now my hands are slippery. And my paper towels are more difficult to get to. There they are. Ugh. Always good to keep those handy. Okay. What else we got? Do the bottoms. And again, I'm not tightening up these screws until I get all 4 of them in. Do not prematurely tighten your screws, because things will be very much out of square. What upgrade videos are you looking forward to? Just more on this printer, or specific upgrade videos? Actually, I'll tell you, I just finished my latest list of videos, and I'm not going to share that with you, unfortunately, because I don't want to get scooped on anything. That's not fun. But I just finished my latest upgrade, or my latest to-do list, and I've got way more videos than I have time for. I've got months worth of videos, and I know there's probably someone that would, everybody would organize my list differently for me, because they want to see something more. I wish I had more time for all these, because I have way more video ideas than I do time. As you may know, most YouTubers, particularly those with sub 10,000 subscribers, do not do this for a living. In fact, I make enough to support this channel. I don't know if you know this. I've mentioned it before, at least to some people, that every dime currently that I have made off of this channel, be it from affiliate links or these super chats or whatever, have all gone back into the channel. I have taken zero money out for my family or for myself. It's all gone back into making this channel better. It buys these cameras and these lights. So, if you like the content, at least at this point, every dime is going back into the content. It buys the parts, it buys the printers, just so that I can do more. I had to buy this second Ender 5 Plus because I had modified that first Ender 5 Plus so much. I knew I needed to start over. And I have projects that I want to do with these printers that I will show you guys that I couldn't do because I'm always modifying. Because I'm always modifying this printer. And so I can't do the big 3D printing projects I want to do if I'm always modifying the printer. So that's why I'm building a second one here. And if it gets to the point where I have more to do and more projects I want to do, I guess I'll buy another one. I'm about to upgrade the shop here to be able to increase capacity. I'm about to add a shelf. I'm about to add a third workbench. Because these videos, at least at the quality that I like to produce them, take a lot of space and a lot of time. And so I'm just continuing to try to build what I'm doing here so that we can continue to grow and continue to put out good content. And it's driven primarily by what you guys tell me you want to see and what you guys ask for. Or just what I think that would make cool videos. So. Hey, Tripod Man. Good to see ya. I really appreciate you dropping in anytime. It's terrific to see ya. If you guys are not checking out Tripod's Garage, please check him out. He's doing awesome videos as well about the Ender 5 Plus. So check out his channel. Thank you, Luke, for the super chat. I appreciate it. It's a big deal when you guys contribute. It lets me know that you're appreciating the content and that you want me to keep doing more. because, like I said, the more time and money and stuff I've got to work on this channel, the more I put into it. So I appreciate it. I do everything I can to get out a video a week, but I do have a day job like everybody else. And so this it only happens when my day job and or family always comes first, and then I have time for this. So is that Al? I wouldn't call you Al. Sorry about that, Al. I know this can be an expensive hobby. No doubt. Like I said, that's why I got to put the money into the channel, is because these parts are not free. You guys, I think a lot of people think that more of this stuff is given to us than actually is. I end up buying, I don't know, 90% of what you see on this channel, all the parts, all the upgrade pieces, all the SKR stuff at this point I have purchased through channel funds. I have just now started talking to Big Tree Tech directly, and they're going to start sending me some boards to test, and I appreciate them. So big thanks to Big Tree Tech for coming on board and liking the content and wanting to contribute. Al, thank you very much. Thank you. I appreciate that. Now, don't get your wife mad at me for contributing. So you're contributing to the contributing. This is a big vicious circle, Al. You know that, right? Let's see. There's a Thingiverse for wife. You probably can find some things for your wife on Thingiverse, but that takes us off topic. Okay, so everything is squared here. How do I know it's square? Because I run my finger along the bottom of this, and I'm happy with how it lines up. Again, this is not an engineering square. I can come easily along after I'm done here, take my engineering square and come and make sure everything is perfectly square. So you're not going to see me do that here. Again, this is just the build. If you have a square, please feel free, square up all, what do we got, 12 of your corners here or whatever? No, way more than that. 24 of your corners here. Make sure everything's perfectly square. Make sure that these rails are square. Please take the time, do it however you like. So let me see. I want to see how many people have joined us. We have been averaging, hovering right here at the 90 viewer mark. Hey guys, I really appreciate you hanging out. I am already at the 4 o'clock mark, and I know I haven't even begun printing yet. But as you can see so far, I like talking too much. So what do I got? Next thing up, we're going to get the bed attached, and then we're almost there. I will not stick around for a full test print, unfortunately, because it is Sunday and the family would like to see me a little bit more today. So I'm going to put the bed on here. Again, if you're unfamiliar with this process, it's pretty easy to tell. Okay, so first things first. It appears I'm going to need to drop these Z-screws a little bit because I'm running into my nozzle and my BL Touch here. So I'm going to very carefully drop these down so I'm not running into that BL Touch. Okay. Now I'm going to just eye it, make sure it's relatively level. Hey Dan, 10 minutes ago, congratulations. This video will be available later, so if you want to follow back along. Hey Tripod. Hey. Thank you very much, sir. I appreciate that. I've got my beer here, and the next one I will put your name on it. Okay. Marco, thanks for the excellent question. So Marco asks, would I recommend doing the upgrades right out of the box right when you get started? And the answer is definitely not. Do not do the upgrades until you have run this printer stock out of the box, and I'll tell you why. If you, before you do any of the, before you've done any test prints, start doing all your upgrades, and then something doesn't work right, you don't know, was it my upgrade or was the printer broken out of the box? So I would definitely recommend, do 1 or 2 or 5 or 10 prints just out of the box. Even if they're little, doodad prints, even if you're, printing Pokemon or whatever, do your test prints first. You're going to regret it if you don't, because you won't know if it was the printer or if it was your upgrade that broke something. So definitely test out of the box, particularly if you plan on using any warranty support. Because if you've changed everything out and then calling them for warranty support, they're going to be very confused. And then, as I mentioned in my top 5 Ender 5 Plus mods video, do them one at a time. Now again, I don't care if you print just a calibration cube between each mod. Do them one at a time, otherwise you're going to be chasing problems. If you've changed your extruder and you changed your hot end and you changed your cooling and you changed your main board or your display and then something doesn't print right, how do you know which one of those upgrades broke it? So one at a time, test prints in between. That's what I recommend. Hey Asker, good to see you, man. Let's see. All right, where are we going? Am I missing screws? Nope, there they are. I think. How many screws do I need? Okay, that's right. So here are the screws it came with. These are the M4 by 10s. And I believe there are going to be 8 of them. Yep, 4 in each corner. Let me see if I can get you guys a better view while I'm doing this. I would prefer. So let's go to the... Let's see if this works. Excuse me if this really messes you up. Wow, you're going to get the whole garage. It's going to be Kersey's garage. I'm going to be stealing from tripod there. All right, you still can't see exactly what I'm doing, but maybe this is still a better view overall. Second printer after having a 5 Plus. A second 5 Plus, I like what KD says. If you need a smaller printer, you can go with a regular Ender 5. If you like this size, get just another 5 Plus. If you want to try something completely different, get you a resin printer, because that's very different and prints at a completely different standard than your filament printers. There's not a new 32-bit board in this printer. They're still shipping the stock one. Let me grab my right hex key here. And so I've got these M4s. I'm going to put a washer on each one of them. So M4 with a washer, and there's going to be 2 on each corner. Again, you still can't see this great. It's the difference between a live stream and a tutorial video. But let me line up the first corner here. There we go. Still trying to find, there it is. Okay, again, I'm not tightening these down until I have all 8 screws in place. If I am going too quickly, if I'm not showing you something you feel like you need to see, please ask, and I will do what I can to give you a better shot. But as I mentioned, doing this live is different than doing it in a tutorial video. But since I already had tutorial videos, that seemed redundant. I have my screw stuck here, so I need these needle nose pliers to get everything out. It fell apart. trying to remember here. Let me see. Did I remember to thank Al? Yes, I did thank Al. Thank you again, Al. Just want to make sure I don't forget anyone that's contributing. Thanks for hanging out with me on what is hopefully still Sunday wherever you are. Hopefully you're having a good weekend. Doing some 3D printing. I have no printers running right now, but that has more to do with the fact I don't have a terrific setup for it right now. And that goes with the garage upgrade that I'm working on to add more shelves and more workbenches because I can only do so many things at once. Again, hopefully this printer will help with my capacity to print more projects. I want to do a lot more. I know if you've been with me for a little bit on this channel, you know I started printing a droid. I printed the head. And then you guys just want me to keep upgrading this printer. So since I'm upgrading the printer all the time, I'm not printing droid parts. Hopefully this will fix that. I think I'm going to take the printer that I've been running forever as the channel printer, the yellow Ender 5 Plus, and I think I'm going to take it and make it the project printer. That printer is going to be put to heavy use. Keep it printing so that I have some project videos, not only tech and upgrade videos. I want to expand the channel out a little bit more to sort of the stuff I bought the printer for and want to work on. So that's the plan. This will become the new channel printer that is spending its time being upgraded and modified and poked and prodded. Luke, working on a drone. I've always wanted to build a drone from scratch. That is some content I would love to put on the channel because I know other people, plenty of other people have done it. There's some good content online for it. I'm a noob to really hardcore RC stuff. I've obviously played with plenty of RC toys in my time, but not really any of the hardcore stuff where you gotta program the controllers and all. So. All right, so I've got all 8 of these in now. I'm going to tighten them up because everything should square now that they're all in here. Yes, I'm definitely doing the garage updates, Tripod. I've got a brand new 76-inch shelf that I'm about to put, all metal, industrial grade stuff. I'm about to put that in. I've got a new heavy-duty workbench that's going over on this side. Let me switch it up here so I can see what I'm doing. All right. So yeah, I'm going to be putting over on this side. I'm going to be putting in the new workbench. Basically, I want to be able to do two or three projects at a time, since some of these projects take up so much time to complete. And then I can work on more and do more in a short period of time. It means more videos, more projects. It means that I won't be slowed down as much just by the process of YouTubing. Because you guys probably don't, I don't know, maybe some of you do. The amount of time that a video takes as opposed to how long it would take to do if I was just sitting around my house doing it at the kitchen table. It's quite a bit. So yeah, this printer, when I'm done with it, it's going to look very different than the other one. So Marco asked a question. Yes, I did change the power supply. Dan, Marco, you wanted to know, will I be proactively changing out the power supply in this printer? I don't know. I don't know. What do you think? Let me know in the comments. What do you think? Should I proactively change out the power supply, or should I see how long it takes to die? The last one I did kind of on purpose. I did not switch it out because so many people were having problems. I wanted to know, can I kill this power supply, or is it going to last me? And it lasted a good, what'd I say, 6 months? Something like that before it went out. Do I want to proactively change this so that it doesn't just die during a print at some point and produce a puff of smoke? I was lucky on the last one. It was at my kitchen table when it did it. Very strange. Or do I want to go ahead and proactively do it? Let me know. What do you think I should do? Next up is the spool holder. I seem to be missing a screw, but I swear I saw it earlier. Is it in the spool holder already? Maybe that's what it is. Okay, they're already in the spool holder. So next up, I've got to put the spool holder on. It has, forget I'm on this one first. So it already has the screws and the T-nuts already built into it. So those aren't in a bag or anything. They're ready to go. They have so many screw sizes. Okay, I'm going to put this in down here. It goes in on the printer. So yes, this one did come with the cheap power supply. If you weren't around at the beginning of the video where I was unboxing and taking a look at what I got, this did come with the Changlang power supply. Hopefully I'm not butchering that too much. Okay, so that one's in. You got to make sure that you feel that T-nut catching. Okay. Just finger align it. It's not very important on this anyway. Okay. I think that about does it. And now I just got to hook up the wiring. How do I want to do this? I know you are going to kind of want to see what I'm doing. Let me see if I can move things around a little bit here. I'm hearing people are coming with different power supplies depending on where they get it from. Tripod saying go ahead and swap it out. He's saying ditch it. Let's see. Different supplies depending on where you get them from. I love the 600 that's in mine now. Al seems like he's doing all kinds of crazy upgrades. Good for him. Now I know why his wife is not happy. All right. I'm going to see if I can move this camera real quick. Let me switch to my wide shot so that I can switch this out without messing people up too much. If my wire here doesn't get in the way too much. Okay, let's see how much this helps. That's not bad. Okay, it's not great, it's not super close. But let's go to that. Maybe it will show enough. There we go. Let's see. Nope, since they're watching me, Pierre says, keep it. Run it till it dies. That was kind of what I was thinking. Not looking forward to it dying, but we'll see. We'll see if I just feel like it one day. I'm sitting on Amazon like, I just want to buy something. Let's go and replace that power supply. All right, so I'm going to pull all my wires out here so that you can see what I'm doing. And that camera is not going to want to just stay there. There we go. Okay. Just trying to make sure. All right, decent picture. Okay, so I don't really have any method to the madness here. I just kind of go through it and, you know, go through them as I see them. So this is going to be the extruder. So that goes up here. I'm not going to be doing any cable management because I don't have the time in this string to do it. And see, if I show you that, then you can't see what I'm hooking it to. Like, I just can't win. I've got it. Let's do that. And then let's get rid of the wide. Let's do that. I like that. Okay. Then let's go with another long wire. I'm always unwinding these as I go. So this one is going to be for my X's. So I'm going to grab this. This is this X. And then the small one is my end stop for my X. So that goes over here. How many people we still got in chat? How many people are still watching this? 78. I'm losing people. But hey, I appreciate everyone sticking around. This is running longer because I talk too much. But I figure it's better than being boring. This one is Y. So I'm going to take this around this back one. I'm going to take it up to the Y. And then I should have a Y end stop. I'm going to have to take care of this with cable routing more than anything, but I don't really want it near the Y moving parts. So I'm going to take it in front of that extrusion so that it's not going behind it. Let me see. I'm trying to see if I'm missing things. All right. What do I got? This is going to be Z. So this is one of the Z's. This is going to be the one that's on the other side because it's the longer of the two. So I'm going to take this. I'm going to run it. It's not crazy. I'm not doing any cable routing right now. So whatever works, keeping it out of the way, making sure it's not going to get in the motors or screws or anything. Let's see. Next up, this is my other Z. So this one's the short one, so it's just going to go to the one that's close by. There we go. Hello, tripod. He's still here. Purr, don't let me keep you. If you've got to get some sleep, get some sleep. Go get the kids to school. Where are you, Garrett? You may have already told me. I apologize if I don't remember. Where are you located that you are in the morning? You got to get the kids to school. Yes, Pierre, that's exactly what I'm planning on doing. So this is the 3-wire. This should be my filament runout sensor. Boom. And then we have the gantry here. So let me show you how easy this is to fix from New Zealand. Okay. Yeah, it's getting about that time there. So what I'm going to do, let me switch back to the outside one. All right, so hopefully you can see this well enough. I am going to take this Bowden tube. I'm going to pull it out completely, okay? It's got this nice curve already built into it, you see? I'm going to take that directly to my extruder. See what I've done there? Now this is a shorter distance. This can be run over here. And now when this moves, check that out. Super clean. This is out of the way over here. This is right here creating this nice arch for the filament. This is how I run my other printer. I had not really thought about it because I didn't realize that this was coming in the tube. So, if you're running into filament runout detection issues, you can pull this apart. There's just a simple switch in there. You may need to bend the metal part of that switch a little bit. Pull it apart, find out if that switch is detecting or not detecting where it should be. Just bend that metal piece a little bit. Just pull it apart. Yeah, so let me go and finish showing you this while I'm at the wide shot. So I'm going to take one of the cable ties it came with. All right. I am now going to take this, which runs this way. there is a hole already on the back of this that I can put that into. You can't see it in that shot either, but there's a hole, and I'm just going to just put this right here. And then zip tie this down. And like, this is the perfect solution for, I give it a little bit of, you're gonna have to pull it all the way out. Don't let me mix that up. Pull this all the way out. Give it a little bit of room. Then I'm gonna tighten that down right there. Okay? Cut that out right there. Boom. There you go. So now this is easy to hook up. This doesn't really get in the way. It can move around a little bit. Oh, let me go ahead and do this too. So you want to keep this up off out of the printer a little bit. Just zip tie this back onto that Bowden tube real low. See? Now it stays up with the Bowden tube. I'll probably be switching out the Bowden tube later, but check that out. Now watch this. So now as it moves, it stays up. If you have any problems, move them around. Don't take this as gospel. Move things around. Don't PM me going, hey Chris, that's not working exactly the way you said. Just move things around a little bit. This is how I run my other printer, and it works great. Let's see. Okay, so now I've got the last ones here. Switch over to this shot. Okay, so I'm going to plug in, I'm going to pull my bed down here. Gonna plug in the bed, pop. This is the bed thermistor. It should be labeled as such. Yes, it says bed thermistor. Awesome. Gonna pop that in. Then I've got my other thermistors, the only other white wire. The actual nozzle heater are the thick red wires. Plug those in. Blue and yellow are the hot end cooling, the part cooling. Then we have the hot end cooling, which is the red and black. Again, if you need up close of this, please watch my other video, my original, which is a lot closer. And then I've got the BL Touch, which is the 5 wires. And that's it. And again, we can do a quick test. And now, if you're a person that says I shouldn't be doing this because I'm creating the back flow of electricity to the board, you're absolutely right. It could short out my board. I have not seen it happen. If it does happen, it's on me. But this moves, making sure I'm moving it slow, keeping the voltage down. Motors produce current when you move them. But notice this now is no tighter than it needs to be. Everything seems to move the way it's supposed to. This is the fullest extent. Everything is fully extended and we're good. The BL Touch wires on this one had the brown combination, the brown, orange, red. Okay. So see how clean that is? See how good that looks? All right. So what's left? I need to pull off. I'm going to come around front here. Hopefully. If I've got enough wire. I'm going to pull these off. Actually, let me come around back. I'm going to pull these off. Let's check this whole thing out. Switch back to the wide shot. Okay, so here is, I guess it works that way. Okay, so here is my brand new screen. Now I will tell you, typically I do not print on this side, but then again, on the original one I got, this side was not this pretty. It did not have the nice texture on it. I typically print on the glass side that I've already put wonderful fingerprints on. I like the glass side better. I'm willing to give this new surface a shot. It's like the Ultra Base, which you clean with IPA typically, and it will stick like crazy. So I will give this one a shot on this printer since it's new. I usually pull these back a little bit. Apparently this scratches really easily, so be careful. There we go. Hey, streaming problems. Oh, just walk around, Chris. Just put it on. Don't worry about it. All right. There we go. Okay. So, am I missing anything? In the chat, have I missed anything up? Chris, why are you only answering other produces? What? What am I saying, 5? 5 pints, what do you mean? Answering other produces. I assume that's a typo or something. Let's see. Texture side works quite well. From what I do not want to use IPA on it, will ruin the coating. Okay, thank you, Thomas. Didn't know. I'm going to check my book, see if it says anything about cleaning it. Luke says IPA won't hurt it. I guess I'll find out. Chris, why are you only answering other content creators? Have I only been answering content creators? I think I've been answering pretty much anyone that has asked questions. Did 5 Pints ask a question that I did not answer? I don't know. No, I'm answering everyone here. I don't even know who content creators are here except for Thomas. Thomas creates content. Tripod creates content. I'm talking to everybody. Okay. Anything else? It looks good, right? So, do I have a plug? I've already got one down here because this is where my Ender 5 Plus was previously. Is it turned off? It's turned off, yes. I have spider webs on it because I'm in my garage. What's going on? Am I going to install new Z-bearings, LM10s? No, not unless these are damaged. So what I typically have done, what I did on my other Ender 5 Plus, is I actually pull these out, just unscrew them, see if they move freely without any noise or without any knocking. And if they're fine, then I leave them alone. Now, if I were to have one that wasn't moving smoothly, yeah, I would replace it. In fact, I've already purchased some. I've got these right here waiting in case I ever need them from Ziltech. So I am prepared if I need to. See you guys in 15 minutes. All right, Garrett. I'm going to try not to go too much longer. I'm way over time here. So I'm going to plug it in. All right, so let's get this ready. I'm going to make sure I do this right for you guys. Let's go ahead and make sure that you can see what the display does. So that's what you want to see, right? Let's see if that's it. Okay, that's pretty good. Is that good for you guys? No, Ziltech. Let's go ahead and I'll type it for you. Ziltech. That's who I order a lot of parts like that from. I think if you use the code Kersey Fabs, it will save you. Oh, sorry about the Georgia accent. I try to keep it down, I really do. But the more excited I get and the more I talk, the more that accent comes out. But I know I have an international audience here, and I try to keep that down. If you use Ziltech, 20% off if you use that code. I've been supporters of theirs for a long time. They've got great products and they're relatively cheap. All right. Now that I've had a drink before we do this, let's see what the results are. I think I've got a good view here. If you can't see something, let me know. Let's cut it on. Looking good. Not getting, there it goes. All right. Oh, man. That's what you get when you throw your garbage all over the floor. Okay. So it looks good. Let me move my monitor around so I can see myself. I want to make sure you're getting a view here that's useful. I think most of you have seen this before. Maybe not. I don't know. There we go. Okay, so look good, everyone? Yes? Okay. Let's see. So settings. Now this is about the best view I can do to give you the screen and give you the printer. Let's say settings. And the first thing to do on here is leveling. And I know the biggest complaint that I get from most people with the leveling is you hit leveling and your BL Touch crashes in, your nozzle crashes in, and all hell breaks loose. So let's find out if that's what's going on. So leveling. I'm going to have my finger on the power button just in case that, you know, bad things happen. Man, it is loud. I forgot. I've been running the silent board for so long. Let's see. Am I going to crash or is it going to do what it's supposed to? I did get a really nice straight BL Touch probe. It's not bent or anything. There we go. There we go. It did not crash. It's looking good. Is it going to crash this time? Nope. Didn't even crash that time. Okay. So I'm going to do this quick tutorial. This is going to be the end of the stream because, like I said, I have gone way over here and I do have to get back to regular life. First thing I'm going to need is a sheet of paper because I still do the paper method. Bed doesn't seem level. It probably isn't. I just pulled it out. It's probably not level. In fact, I know it's not going to be level. In fact, I do hope I brought my, I brought my ruler. I'm going to show you the method I use to level this bed. All right, so here's what we're doing. I'm going to turn it off. Okay. First thing I'm going to do, I want to make sure that my left and my right gantry are relatively aligned. They don't have to be perfect because the bed leveling is going to take care of a lot of this. So I'm going to go from the plate right here at the edge. I'm going to go from the plate to my gantry. I'm going to pick up a measurement. So for example, I'm going to pick 6 centimeters. Now I'm going to move this up to 6 centimeters. Now I don't have to be perfect here. Again, my bed leveling is going to take care of the rest, but I want to know that my left and my right are accurate. So I'm going to do 6 centimeters. I'm going to go over to the other side. I'm going to do the same thing. And it's way off. So I'm going to go down and I'm going to hit 6 centimeters. There we go. Now at least I know that my left and my right motors are the same. I like this way as opposed to using the actual bars, the Z-axis itself. I like this way because what it does is it aligns it to what's actually doing the printing. So this is a little bit better. The other way is probably fine, but I'm going to cut it back on again. I'll see if I have time. I'm not promising. Again, I'm way over time here. Let's see. So settings, leveling. I should have heated it first. Okay, let's go ahead and do that. I need to heat it if I'm going to do leveling. So temp, manual. I'm going to set the nozzle for what I usually print at, which is 205. And it doesn't want to hit 2 because I'm typing this at a weird angle. 205. Okay. I'm going to preheat the bed to 60, which is what I usually print at. I'm going to let it heat. Oh, it's not going to like that at all. I plugged it into a UPS, and that UPS is going to scream at me because it's going to try to battery back up something that it can't support. So, let me switch that over. Turn it back on. UPSs do not like a printer that pulls this much power. So yeah, Mark, I ordered this one straight from the website. This one came directly from Creality 3D Official. Nope, Dan, you're great. That's the better one. Good premium power supply. What did Marco ask? I ordered straight from the website. Do you need to order a meanwhile? It's up to you. You can wait and see if the power supply came with dies on you, or you can go ahead and proactively replace it with a Meanwell 500 or 600. Go watch my video that I did on the Meanwell power supply, on the power supplies failing in here. I think that will provide more information than I can right at this very moment. I'd rather do that than go over all of it. So if you want to be proactive, yes, go get you a Meanwell now. If you're willing to see if yours lasts, then keep the one you have. Mine lasted 6 months before it died. No, it was under heavy printing. I mean, I can't say I printed constantly for 6 months, but I mean, if you see my channel, I do a fair amount of printing, not just on weekends. So, average use over 6 months. You know, it wasn't sitting by itself most of the time. It also wasn't printing nonstop. So, average use for 6 months. So, let's get this heated up. Sorry if I missed that, Marco. It wasn't intentional. I try to catch all the comments. There's a lot going on. Well, it's heating up. I see a little of the filament that they tested the printer with in there. So I will say, I have noticed this printer was tested. First of all, I could see that right here where they had removed the screws, there was some marking that this had been screwed in before. I am noticing that filament is coming out of the nozzle. So this printer was built, it was powered on, it did print something because they have filament in it. So they do test their printers before they leave the factory. I know some people try to claim that they just slap these in a box, but that's not the case. There's proof. Yeah, if you want to wait till it dies and you want to RMA it, you can. If that's what you want to do with the power supply, that's fine. Let's see, what filament do I have down here? I have something that says 3D print filament. I'm sure this is good high quality stuff. While it's heating up, I'm going to get this in here. I'm going to snip off the filament at some angle. Some people say 60 degrees, it's something, and then I basically just snip the tip a little bit so that it doesn't have a sharp tip on it. And this filament is already breaking on me. Let's find out. If something fails, blame the filament at this point, because this is old stuff. This is not the stuff I usually print with. It's what I had under the table. So, like I said, clip the tip, straighten it out with your fingers so that it goes through. Should be pretty easy to just get that in there. I'm not going to push it all the way in the hot end. I'm just going to get it near it. So that's near it. Okay. Go-to brand of PLA, Filament 1. I have tons of it. Love their stuff. Prints at 205 for all their regular colors, 215 for their sparkly specialty stuff. It prints so good. I never have to worry about it screwing up my printer. Filament One, I can give you guys a affiliate link if you want to help out the channel later. But if not, just go over there and buy some because they have excellent stuff. I love it. Okay, so we're heated. We're going to go settings, leveling. I use these little type pliers for everything. Gets filament off. Terrific. I'll have to say, I know you're asking Thomas. I'll answer too if you don't mind. The 500 is probably enough. I have had 0 complaints about the 500. I've had no one tell me that the 500 has died on them. The 600 has overhead. So if you want overhead, get the 600. The 500 seems to be fine for most people. Okay. So, as I said, leveling menu, ready to go. I'm just going to do the paper method. And I'm just going to move the Z offset. Z down, Z down, Z down, Z down. Until it's tight. Now on this printer, I have noticed that it's better to go tighter than looser. So I go to the point where it's actually tight. And again, that's just from experience. If you need to loosen it back up later, play with your Z adjustment later. Because I normally wouldn't make it that tight, but with this interface, for some reason, tighter is better. Then I go into the aux leveling. It's already squeaking. So, still recommend upgrading to the palm nuts. I wish they'd just ship it with the palm nuts because it squeaks like crazy without them. The PTFE oil or PTF grease also does a good job of getting rid of the squeaking. Okay. So first things first, we know 1 should already be leveled. Let's hit 1. Okay, that is tight where I left it. All right, let's do 2. And I always have my paper underneath it ready to go. It keeps you from scratching the build plate. So that's a little tighter than I want. I can't even pull that out. So that's pretty good, okay? Again, this is tighter than I normally would. On other printers like the regular Ender 5, I don't have to go this tight. Don't know why it's that way on this printer. Okay, and this is a feeling thing. You'll get to the point where you can feel this a lot better and know how tight it needs to be just from experience. It's something hard to explain what something feels like. Man, these things are cranked all the way down, which is good. It's a good place to start. This one's too tight. Yeah, that one's too tight, unfortunately. So I may have to go a little looser and work separately now that I've already done this once. So what I'm going to do, since I'm finding one corner too tight, now that I've made adjustments all the way around, what I'm going to do, I'm going to go back up. And I'm going to back out again. I'm going to go to leveling again so that it will rehome. And the reason I'm doing this is so that I get to start over. I'm finding something that's not working exactly right, so I'm just going to rehome it. This is not obvious to a lot of people that, you know, have not done this before. that things adjust. Now, since I adjusted these 3 corners, the whole bed is different than it was before I started in terms of like the plane that the bed is on. There you go. Okay. Let's go one loose for this part. All right, let's do that ox. And then I'll bring it back down one right before I'm done in this menu. All right, press 1 again. All right, so it's loose. I'm going to leave it there for now. 100 viewers. This must be the part everyone was waiting on. Okay, so I'm going to loosen this one again. Again, it should feel like the center one does. See, since I rehomed after I moved those first 3, it's going a lot better this time. Sometimes you just have to start over. Since you're not getting the results you expected, the results you want, you start over and you do it right. Okay, now all of these are feeling really good from where I would want them to be. I'm going to check out one again since I removed the whole bed. See, now this one's tight again. Hey DB3D, good to see you. First, I was just talking about the different leveling points. So now this one's too tight. I'm going to have to do this again. I'm going to loosen it. Now it's loose again. I'm going to go to aux leveling again. Keep going around until you get it level. This is not a one and done sort of thing. Sometimes it will take 2 or 3 times to get a bed level, particularly for the first time. It's heating up. It's, you know, changing its shape. Make sure you don't get your paper in there. And so you're going to have to make modifications as you go. All right, let's go to 1 again. It's too loose. Don't know why it's so loose. Drag it out. Go down again. Okay. Aux leveling again. Thanks, Asker, for dropping by. I appreciate it. This is where most people struggle. It's a very time-consuming process, particularly the first time to get it right. It's not intuitive necessarily because you don't know that you have to rehome sometimes to start over, particularly when you've moved 3 out of your 4 screws and now the entire plane of the bed has shifted. So I'm hoping this video helps. Maybe I'll pull this part out to show that it's not easy, to show that it's somewhat time-consuming. But see, the reason you don't have a lot of YouTubers doing videos on things like this is because it's long. It's not the most interesting thing to watch. And so unless you're looking for this specific content, it's not going to get that wide of viewership. No, I never press that offset to 0. I've never done that. And I don't know if other people do that, and maybe that's where they get screwed up, because I've never had to press that center button to reset the offset. This keeps things working better from what I've seen. Sorry if I'm missing a lot of questions right now. I know that I'm not 100% in the chat because I'm doing this. There we go. I think this is going to be pretty level. I've made it all the way around without anything really getting off. Let me check one again. If one is good, I'm going to call it level. It's still tighter than I'd want it to be. But we're going to try that because I'm hoping that I've been around a couple of times. I've gotten it as level as I can. I'm going to do the measured leveling at this point. That squeaking is the Z screws. My other printer did this as well. A lot of other people's printers did this as well. It's either going to take PTFE grease, something really good, some PTFE oil, PTFE grease on it to work out those noises, or switch to the palm nuts, which is what I recommend, and you won't have any more squeaking. Let me show you what I use. So this is what I use on mine. Let's see. Let's do down here. There we go. So that's what I use. DuPont white lithium grease with Teflon. That's what I use on it. It took care of it for me before I switched to the palm nuts. So that's what I recommend. The pitch of these nuts, I'm going to have to look that up. I don't remember off the top of my head. Maybe someone in the chat remembers. Let's see. What is M600 601? I don't know off the top of my head that G code. I know a lot of G codes. I don't know 600 601 off the top of my head. Fill me in so I don't have to look it up. It usually gives me really close measurements the same time. I can't say that they're identical. I don't believe I've ever pulled out my chart and seen if they're exactly the same, but they're pretty good. Direct drive or Bowden for Ender 5 Plus, any preference? I have my new direct drive from Micro Swiss I already have in hand. It's one of my upcoming reviews. That will be the first time I can tell you for sure whether I like direct drive better on this printer. So I reserve judgment until I've tested it. Oh, filament change. I don't know. I don't think I've tried M600 or M601 on this stock firmware. I know I've built it into my firmware on my upgraded main board. So I recommend, I don't know, I haven't tried it. On the upgraded firmware, I know I have everything that you need to do the filament change. Thanks, Thomas. 2mm pitch, 4mm lead. Yep. Tripod is saying direct drive because he actually has one. The nuts are these, right now they're brass on here. If you want to switch these out for the palm nuts, go check out my top 5 upgrades for the Ender 5 Plus video. My top 5 upgrades for an Ender 5 Plus video has everything you need to know about switching these out for the palm nuts. It will absolutely get rid of your squeaking because you will have no more metal on metal there. Uh-oh. Froze up. Let's see. I know what happened. There we go. Sorry about that. I'm back. It was just the camera. The camera goes to sleep. Okay, so that's it. Bed should be level now. I'm going to be brave and do a test right here on camera. Let me get out some of this filament. All right. I don't have one of my test SD cards handy, so I'm going to pull theirs out. Clearly, filament is extruding well. Wow, that stuck to that bed really well. It was hot. Let's take their SD card that came with the printer. It goes in upside down if I remember correctly. So if you want to know about my leveling results, I think you can still see those here. Leveling results, I have a 0 in every first position except for this one down here and this one down here. That's what I look for in bed leveling to know if I did a really good job. If that tenths is if I only got 1 or 2 of these in the tense position. Everything else is super level relative to each other. And again, notice this 0.1 is only 0.0025 off from this one. So it's well within range. There's a little bit of a bulge here, but this should compensate for it. So auto leveling I have turned off. I don't need it. So I'm just going to back that up. Next, print. You tell me I can't see anything on their SD card? Wow. That sucks. This is the one that came with it. I thought that, did I not have one in their root directory? Do I have to move one around? No pre-sliced files. Print. Nope. Interesting. That's kind of lame. Don't know if I have anything pre-sliced. Probably not for this configuration in any way, because all of mine are going to be for an upgraded one. Let me check. Otherwise, that's going to be it for this stream. It probably should be anyway, to be honest. I've gone way over time. See what I can find on this USB drive. Nope, everything I seem to have is an STL. I'm not going to take the time to slice. Everything appears to be working. The next thing I'll do, of course, is run a test print with something that I already have. I still have my original profiles. Let me see here. So, I think that's about it, guys. I know you all wanted to see a test print, but I think I've gone way longer than I planned to here. I have shown you the printer does boot up. I am able to get it leveled the way I want it to. I will do a test print on here when I get a G-code ready for it. I think that's going to have to be it, because otherwise I'm going to put a G-code in here that's not really designed for what I currently have set up. So, recommended slicer, Cura. Cura is the only one I've practically ever used. I've played with some of the other ones, but the UIs were weird, and they have kind of a learning curve. I've played with Crucia, but again, I could learn it, but I would have to take the time to learn it. Let's see. I appreciate everyone joining me for this extra length stream. Thank you for joining me. All of you guys that took the time to spend your afternoon with me. All of the time that, for all of you that left the super chats, thank you for the donation to the channel. Like I've told you, all of that will go directly back into the channel at this point. I'm hoping not forever, but at this point, all money that the channel makes goes back into the channel for buying parts, for buying printers, equipment, lights, cameras, all of that to keep everything better. I hope that this stream had better quality and just the overall content was better than ones I've done before. If you have enjoyed this, please leave a like. If you would like to support the channel long term, please check out Patreon. PayPal links down below. Again, everything else is appreciated, guys. Thanks for just watching. All of your likes, all of your hits, everything that you've given me on this channel have been terrific. Thanks for the views. I will keep making content for you, and thanks for everyone that, particularly if you're in Europe, if you're somewhere else in the world and you've stayed up late with me, thank you very much. Let me see. Thank you, Luke. Thank you, Marco, Tripod. Thanks for everyone joining me. If I've missed your name here at the end, hopefully I messed you. Excuse me. Hopefully I mentioned you during the stream. Emmanuel. Thank you very much. Again, I'm Chris, and this has been Kersey Fabrications, actually building a printer today.